Hello and welcome. Today I give you a warm welcome to Gemini Space's live stream and live at Cape Canaveral Air Force Station. Today we'll be launching the commercial payload on our Phoenix launcher. This payload is a secretive payload, which is built by ENW Industries. Due to the customer's request, we will not be showing payload deployment, and we will only show some commentary and of course some pad views after fairing separation. Payload itself is ASM-8, which is a classified payload by the Polish Department of Defense, and is being launched by the Phoenix launcher, of course. Now on to talking about a bit of the pad. Today we're launching at LC-17B, which is at the Cape Canaveral Air Force Station, and we're also using the two-booster version of the Phoenix launcher. We won't be specifying the orbit of the satellite since it's a secretive mission, but we can say on what it will be about. The satellite will be on a Phoenix launch vehicle, of course. It will be also with 4 other satellites, which are MCOM-Es, which are also launching in the fairing. You can also see some cinematic view around it. It's a very beautiful site, and we're also hoping to get it finished by the end of this year. You can see some construction equipment and the buildings, of course, on the side. That you see on your screen is the mobile service tower. It is used to assemble the rocket and put the payloads in the fairing. Up on your side, you can see some other equipment like the tower, some fuel tanks, and as well as the pad duct, which is the big structure. Once it launches, you'll see some smoke coming out of there, but that's actually not really smoke. That's just vapor water, or vapor if you mind. You can also see some big poles. Those will be used for future structures. You can see that the tower has not retracted yet, even though it will retract. Timer has begun the counting. You can see on your screen. The payload itself is a really high-tech satellite. It's a very large satellite. We won't be specifying, of course, its mass or any things of that. But it's a very secretive payload, as you can say. Due to the customer's request, of course, we will be not showing payload deployment or sharing any high-tech info on the payload itself. Although we can say that the payload itself is secretive and that is for the Polish Department of Defense, beyond that, we can't say anything. As of this moment, the fuel pumps are being turned on. The vehicle is receiving some additional fueling. Not for a second stage, but for its main stage, which is the first stage that you can see on your screen. Fun fact, those 2 boosters on the side, they're not actually liquid boosters. They just are some solid propelled boosters. They have solid propellant on them, which means they're not liquid. And as you can see on your screen, you can see the mobile service tower slowly retracting away. The reason for that is because we don't generally want the tower to be next to a rocket, because if some explosion happens or something else, the tower would be damaged, and this means that we would have to reconstruct the tower, and in itself it would damage the pad. If explosions are ever to happen, we have some buildings which they are reinforced by concrete tiles and some very strong metal tiles. If explosions ever to happen, the area will be evacuated, and the customers will stay on the LCC, which is a very tiny structure. As looking for the other tower, the tower is served for communications and other services like fueling and, of course, power cables, transmission cables as well. You can see the tower retracting on your screen on the rails. It's retracting very slowly but surely. We're also preparing for the next phase, which will be the main system functions like internal power, and of course the hypercooled liquid oxygen. also known as locks. You can see some tanks on your screen. Those tanks are venting at the moment. They're very chill. They're very cooled inside. It's very cold liquid oxygen. Also, at this moment, you can see on the fairing that we have the logo for the company, which is ENW, sorry for the mispronunciation. And the tower has rolled back, the moment. You can see the tower has retracted. We're now preparing for some system functions like internal power and some other tests as well. As we speak, the main customer, which is ENW Industries, is doing some satellite checks inside, which is, of course, checking if the communication is good in the antenna. All staff crew members, once the call is given, will move away from the area and go somewhere in those methods that you see. And on your screen, you can see another pad. That pad will be used in the future. However, we're currently using LC17B, not LC17A, which is that other pad that you see on the screen. LC17B has only one vapor duct, also known as one vapor duct, of course. As of this moment, nothing really of big is happening. You can also see there's some towers and some other equipment that you can see, like poles and structures. You can also see that there's some kinds of pools in there. Those are actually not pools. Those are for when we are launching on more than 2 boosters. We'll fill up that pool so we can drain the water in it and not just use the tanks. Another thing that you can see on your screen is the nearby communication towers. They are very high and very big towers. These towers are for many communication purposes, like checking if the weather is go or anything else. And also on your screen, you can see that the tower has moved away. The other tower on the pad is still, because it doesn't need to move away since there is no rocket in there. As of this moment, we currently have given no callouts, so we'll wait until internal power. And we have received the internal power call out. The internal power is for main vehicle checks, and it's not really for main vehicle checks. It's actually for one. It basically, the rocket doesn't need to be relying on the tower, which is the tower that you see next to on your screen, for its own power. It's on its own power, batteries, whatever you want to call it. The rocket is on internal power. It doesn't need to rely on any other power sources like cables or something like that. Currently sitting on T-minus 3 minutes and 40 seconds. A nice pad view that you can see in there. Currently we have no weather or any other problems. You will see a call out on your screen, which is the weather and ground equipment call out, which will say if it's go or no go for the launch. If the ground equipment is good, if the weather is good, because if the weather is a bit not so good or it's a bit not that reliable, we'll have to cancel the launch and do it on another launch window. But at the moment at the Cape, everything is looking great, everything is looking fine, and we are currently awaiting for the launch. T-minus 2 minutes, waiting for the next call out. And as you can see on your screen, the LCC has given a good go for the ground equipment. And we're now going to wait for the go and no-go pool, which will occur in about a minute. And I'll leave them on your screen to see the go no-go pool. So good launch. And as you can see on your screen, the launch operators, or console operators as we call them in here, have given a go for launch. This is very exciting. T-minus 15, T-minus 13, T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, green board, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Main engines start and lift off of the Matra launcher as it rises from Cape Canaveral, covering ASAM 8 and INCOM E. A new era for space exploration and Polish space exploration. T-minus 10 seconds, everything going good. Engine monitoring is currently good, no interruptions at all. T-minus 25 seconds, everything's still going good. Very loud noises that you can hear. Very loud. Currently sitting on 14 plus 40 seconds. Still everything going good. System's nominal. Preparing for booster separation. Booster separation will occur at 1 minute and 10 seconds. So everything going nominal. First stage engines still nominal. Gonna do T-minus 1 minute. 1 minute and boosters have been separated. Very fast separation of the GM46s. Currently the vehicle is on the internal core. So that was the first stage. Alright, T-minus 1 minute and 20 seconds. Everything's still going good. Everything nominal. It's planned. We have a currently good range. T plus 35 seconds. Everything going good. 1 minute and 35 seconds. Once we hit 2 minutes and 10 seconds, we will reach the payload the first stage separation, my bad. T plus 2 minutes, my bad, and 5 seconds. Waiting for core separation. And we have Mika, also known as main agent cutoff. At the exact time, and stage 2 has been separated from the core stage. Beautiful separation there. And we have stage 2 engine ignition, dual engine ignition of the AJ10s. Prepare for firm separation. At this time, the stream will cut, so you can only see the pad. First separation, and stream will cut now. And as you can see on your screen, the stream has been cut. This is as per customer's request, since we cannot show any of the payload. We can show some views, of course. If you have taken pictures, you can post them in our communication service, but we can't post pictures on the payload itself since it's secretive. Looking at T plus 13 minutes, 13 seconds, my bad. Burn is still going good. And we have a first burn complete. Second burn will be shortly. T plus 3 minutes and 30 seconds. Everything's still going good. While we wait for the next burn, which will be in T plus 4 minutes and 10 seconds, let's talk about Phoenix, which is the launch vehicle. Phoenix is a fully liquid-fueled stage rocket. It uses 2 side boosters, but we don't consider them as stages. We don't consider them as sidekicks or side boosters, if you want to call them. Phoenix also has a built-in kick stage. However, we will not be using for this flight, as we don't want to use it because of the payload inclination and the orbit. And we also don't need you. T plus 4 minutes and 7 seconds. T plus 4 minutes and 13 seconds. The second burn has started. Everything is still looking good. No payload problems at all. Everything is still going good as per customer's request. We won't be showing any of the payload today. The second burn will last only a few seconds. In T plus 5 minutes and 10 seconds, we will be doing payload separation, and we'll be confirming if the payload has separated successfully or not. Again, this launch is secretive, and we can't share any other info other than the satellite name and its vehicle that it's riding on. Other than that, the customer has said to not release any other information, including orbital and the burn has waiting for confirmation. The burn has ended, and we have a successful we're sorry, we had a little problem with the audio. The burn has been confirmed as successful. The mission ends in a success. waiting for payload separation. Preparing for payload separation in T plus 6 minutes. And payload has been separated. The engines have shut off. And the payload has separated. The stage 2 of confirmation of payload separation. This marks today's mission as a success for both E&W Industries and, of course, Gemini Space. Although we cannot show what is the payload, and of course, we cannot show what purpose it is and how the mission will be, we can confirm you that the mission has gone successfully, and anything else will be documented on our customer servers. Thank you for watching this launch. Sorry for the minor interruptions in the stream. Although the launch has gone successfully, I want to thank you all for coming to the launch and stream. Have a good one. And of course, thank you for flying Gemini Space.